The ship glided into the harbor as dawn broke, the sky shifting from inky black to a wounded violet. I stood on the upper deck, detached from the chaotic hum of passengers around me. Families hugged, lugging bags, their laughter ringing with memories they cherish. I observed, hands clasped behind my back, like a commander inspecting a battlefield after victory was secured. Below, Claire, her father, and their circle of friends scurried like ants fleeing a collapsing nest. No sleek cars waited for them, no polished chauffeur stood ready, just the stark, unforgiving concrete of the dock, too raw, too open. I didn't hurry. I drifted through the ship's corridors, a specter moving deliberately, relishing the faint tremors of their ruins still pulsing in the air. Crew members dipped their heads in quiet respect, their murmurs trailing me like shadows. When my shoes finally touched the dock, the sun pierced the clouds, and the final stage of my strategy ignited. Months earlier, when Claire's warmth began to crack, revealing the ice beneath her smiles, I'd started building. Hidden accounts, ironclad trusts, her power of attorney silently dissolved. I'd secured sole ownership of the company she thought she'd snatch after the divorce she was so clearly orchestrating. I'd signed the end of our shared life before she even drew her blade. Today was merely the reveal. A sleek black sedan pulled up at my signal, cutting through the disorder. The driver, a trusted ally repaying an old debt, gave a curt nod and opened the door. As we drove off, I glanced back once. Claire stood on the dock, her suitcase torn, hair whipped by the sea breeze. Her father shouted into his phone, sweat gleaming on his brow. Their friends hunched over screens, faces twisting as cancellations and bad news crashed like waves. The opening move was flawless. The home Claire thought she'd return to, our sprawling estate, the life she believed hers, was gone. A letter waited instead, announcing foreclosure. I'd removed my name from the mortgage months ago, transferring it to a faceless LLC, now demanding full payment or eviction. New locks would greet her by dusk. The second strike hit her finances. While we were at sea, the bank flagged her family's business for suspicious activity. Her accounts were locked, under investigation. Her influencer friends, their sponsorships crumbling, posted frantic apologies, trying to escape the fallout. Too late. The third blow targeted her future. The job she planned to fall back on, her father's company, a cushioned landing, was obliterated. That morning, financial crime investigators stormed his office with warrants and sealed records. Her father's usual bravado drained to ash. Claire's name, tangled in the scandal, became poison. No firm would touch her now, not with the media feasting on her family's collapse. The final cut was the divorce. She'd planned to serve me papers, but mine were waiting, rewritten, unyielding, stripping her of everything but debts and regrets. I didn't need to witness the chaos, the desperate calls, the tears, the begging. I'd carried her betrayal long enough. Now, I walked in quiet triumph. The next week, I retreated to a secluded villa perched on a cliff, where the ocean roared against jagged rocks. No one knew my location. No one could reach me. At night, I sat by the fire, its glow dancing across stone walls. Occasionally, I'd check my phone, skimming headlines. Tycoon family probed for fraud. Influencers hit with lawsuits. Empire falls in scandal. Each story buried them deeper in the grave they dug. I didn't smirk or revel. I simply breathed, unburdened, whole. On the last night, as a storm battered the coast, a letter arrived. No sender, no signature, just my name printed neatly. Inside was a single photo. Claire, alone in a dingy motel, eyes sunken, gripping a chipped mug like it was her last anchor. No words, no plea, just evidence. Proof that the world doesn't end in chaos or cries. It ends in quiet, in isolation, in the slow choke of insignificance. I tossed the photo into the flames, watching it shrivel and disappear. Freedom isn't applause or fanfare. It's knowing you outlasted those who tried to sink you, leaving them clawing at air they'll never breathe. I poured a drink, the ice snapping as it met the glass. The storm raged outside. Inside, I sat motionless, alive, unshattered, and at last untouchable.